Hey guys, so okay, welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Let's carry on where we left off. We're in the middle of class trial number 2 for Ryoma's death, and Maki has just dropped the bombshell that she met with Ryoma after nighttime had begun, which means all of our alibis, they mean zilch. Squat, nada, zip. Nothing. We're back to square one, beating the past hour and a half of debates. Pretty much, we traveled, what, a couple of feet instead of the mile that we were hoping. Anyway. Let's see what Monokuma and his cubs have to say. Pooh, it seems the voting is finished. Now then, let's see the results. You're getting ahead of yourself there, I think, Monokuma. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
The hell you saying?
Wait a second, what result? Voting time hasn't happened yet. Yes, it has. Don't you remember, Monosuke? No, it hasn't. You're the one who doesn't remember, Monotaro.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, you're right. Silly me, I'm so forgetful.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't expect you all to get so worked up over such a small lie. I knew you lied, you bear. You said you don't. You kids are pretty gullible, huh? You're a degenerate bear.
Now then.
Well, anyway, let's just skip this trial and jump ahead to chapter 3.
The hell you saying?
Wait a second, we don't know the culprit yet. Yeah, who killed Rantaro? Monotaro. We got Monokuma who's going forward, and we got Monotaro who's stuck in the past. Fantastic. That was chapter 1's case. How can you be this forgetful? Monodam, nothing to contribute. Cool. Thanks for that lovely intermission. Now back to the subject at hand. The game causing an intermission right at that frickin' moment of excitement and intensity. Indeed it was.
Back to square one.
And Monodam has said what we're all thinking.
Square one?
Like, I'm sure we've cleared up some things in between then, right? So, it's not going to be all a waste, but still. I mean, we got a new truth bullet, right?
If square one, they wouldn't have got eaten by the competition.
What are you talking about?
After that terrible movie, they had no other choice.
Wow, what does that mean?
Only Atua knows.
It means he doesn't want to get involved in another pointless argument, like this one.
Monosuke's definitely going to be the next cup to go, isn't he?
We shouldn't listen to anything Maki says. She's just gonna throw out more lies.
Right, so I said that she held on to this knowledge because she didn't want to get suspected, right? It would make her look really guilty if she was the last person to see Ryoma and it was after nighttime. But still, our whole argument revolved around the fact that he died before nighttime.
But if we don't ask her for more details, how will we know for sure?
Thankfully, we already sort of suspected that events took place after nighttime had begun, right? Because they had to put him in the piranha tank and everything, and there was no way that was all going to happen pre-nighttime.
I told you already, we don't need to. I hate liars. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
That's a lie, that's for sure. You love liars.
To talk. Maki, just ignore that lying little degenerate. We'll listen to what you have to say.
It must have been a little after midnight last night. He visited me at my research lab.
Right, so it's after midnight, which means, yeah, none of us have alibis, because we were at least captured to 11 p.m., right? So there was an hour where we couldn't have done anything, but if Maki saw him after midnight, that means nothing. Cool. That means
He wanted
nothing.
me to show him the motive video that I received.
Motive video?
If Ryoma came to ask about that, does that mean you had his motive video?
As I recall, Ryoma had Maki's motive video, correct?
So they had each other's motive video. Does this mean that everyone had each other's motive videos? Right? Like, I had Kaito's one. Does that mean Kaito's had mine? Maybe.
Does this mean you and Ryoma received one another's motive video?
It's an easy way to mix them up, right?
Maybe. I actually didn't check the one I got, so I wouldn't know.
That's great.
Maki admitted earlier that she hadn't checked her Cubs pad.
Then why did Ryoma think that Maki had his motive video?
If he went around asking at random, he might have asked some people besides Maki.
Process of elimination, maybe?
He never asked me. He probably never asked you guys either, right?
It's because you were wandering around in your lingerie. Probably no one wanted to approach you at that point. We were all too shy and embarrassed.
Then, Who was it that told Ryoma about his Cubs pad?
I can only think of one person. Who told Ryoma that Maki had his motive video? It would have to be someone who knew who had each pad. Yep. I'm on to you, you lying meatbag, you. Where are you? There you are. Hello.
It's you!
He must have watched all the videos before he came back. That's why he took so long, right?
That
It doesn't
would
take
be
an hour to
Kokichi.
get everyone's pads and come back, right? Surely. Cubs pads! Gotta catch them all! I even got the pads belonging to the people who aren't here. Now everyone can watch their motive video! He was so excited.
So, you saw the motive videos. Did you tell Ryoma that Maki had his?
Yeah.
When males get this quiet, they're either caught in a lie or thinking dirty thoughts.
Could be doing both.
What happened then, Maki? After Ryoma asked you for his motive video?
I told Ryoma just to take it from my room. I keep my room unlocked.
Wow, Maki, that's super careless. Aren't you scared someone might kill you in your sleep?
So he goes silent for the other question, but then he has this quip to say. Oh, wonderful. What is Kokichi up to?
And then what happened?
I don't know what happened after that. I'm not even sure if he saw his motive video.
Did he have time to?
When he asked me, he said that he would show me my motive video in return. But I wasn't interested, so I declined. And that's pretty much it.
Like, Maki's just very apathetic to this entire situation.
So you don't even know if Ryoma saw his motive video? What a bunch of crap.
If Maki met with Ryoma at nighttime, that proves he was still alive then.
Yep. Which means this all took place during nighttime.
Which means, even though we don't have alibis from 8 to 10, Maki and me aren't suspects.
You are suspects. We're all suspects.
If that story is true.
It's true.
Then why did you wait until now to bring that up?
I didn't say anything until now because I wasn't in the mood to be suspected.
Not in the mood, huh? But yeah, like I said, it would make her look really guilty.
Suspected? What for?
Hirumi said it earlier. It seems that Ryoma and I had each other's motive videos.
Suppose that in addition as well, she had his motive video.
That's pretty fishy, right? So I didn't want to mention it to avoid suspicion.
And it took Kaito's random belief in her that she's not guilty to sort of spur this information out. So I guess Kaito helped out here a little bit.
You didn't say anything because you weren't in the mood?
Yep, it's a classic excuse.
It is quite selfish to keep this information hidden because you were not in the mood.
Well, like I said, I understand. It'll probably like derail the whole thing. We'll focus on her, tunnel vision, and the real culprit might get away with it.
Whatever. Either way, let's just believe Maki.
Yes, yes! Those who believe shall be saved!
No, we need to wait. There is still more to confirm.
Well then, why don't we ask Kokichi?
Mr. Kokichi?
Huh? What now?
You never answered my question.
Did you watch those motive videos?
Were you the one who told Ryoma that Maki had his motive video?
And that question as well?
Is that really important?
Yes, it is important. Because if Kokichi told Ryoma, it becomes more likely that Ryoma visited Maki during nighttime.
And this will support Maki's testimony here. I see.
I see. Kokichi's response may help corroborate Maki's testimony.
I'm jinxing Kyo because he said I see the same time as I did.
Now you understand why I don't want your charade. I want the truth.
Easier said than done, Shuichi.
Well, Kokichi, did you tell Ryoma?
I see that little bit of sweat dripping down your forehead, buddy.
You said it earlier. I don't want to die, right? If you really don't want to die, then you better tell us the truth.
Here comes the dramatic turnabout. Now I'm the one pressured by Maki.
I know you're treating this all like a game or anything, but at the end of the day, I don't want to die, and neither do you, right?
Okay, it's true. I told Ryoma.
See, but the fact that he's playing all these games, does this mean that, you know, he already knows the answer, who the culprit is, and he's just, like, having his own sort of fun, like Byakuya did in Chapter 2 of Trigger Happy Havoc, how he messed with the crime scene and everything because he already knew who the killer was? Or is he just literally just making shit up and then he's hoping we'll figure it out anyway? I don't know.
Just as I thought.
Probably feels comfortable that the ultimate detective is here.
But that's not a bad thing, right? He wanted to know, so I told him.
Even though I'm an apprentice, but you did tell Ryoma, so that's good, right? For Maki's sake.
Have you seen everyone's motive video?
No, not yet. I was gonna wait until we hosted like a movie screening party. I just checked who had whose so I could give them back to everyone after.
So you didn't watch the videos, you just sort of labeled who had whose video. Okay.
I see.
But he could be lying about that. We'll see. He could be telling a half-truth here.
Anyway, if Kokichi told Ryoma that, then he must have gone to see Maki. That means Maki's telling the truth. Ryoma was alive during nighttime.
No, we cannot be too sure about that yet.
Really now.
Even if Ryoma and Maki did meet, it does not mean it was during nighttime yesterday.
So you still suspect me?
Well, I've already got my own suspicions, Maki, don't you worry.
I am saying it could still be a possibility. If there is still a small chance of you being the culprit, then I cannot trust you entirely.
Okay.
Because everyone's lives are at stake.
Then which is it? A lie or not lie?
Are we gonna... Okay, this one's definitely gonna be a debate scrum here, right?
She's not lying. Can't you tell just by looking
See, we've
at
got
her?
like Kaito and we've got Tenko believing Maki, and then we've got Kurumi, and I'm sure other people don't believe her
If it
either.
was that easy, we'd
Yeah.
be done by now. No. This is a world of lies and betrayal.
Himiko!
It's a dark world,
it
alright.
breaks my heart to hear you say depressing things.
I find Maki's testimony suspicious. It's far too convenient for her.
I mean, it does look like that, right?
This is difficult to determine.
Maki is lying. Like I said before, a liar like me knows their own kind.
Takes a bullshitter to know one.
I'm not lying. I did meet up with Ryoma during nighttime. I'm telling the truth.
I believe her. This doesn't seem like the kind of thing she'd lie about, right? Not that I really know Maki, but, you know, when she speaks, she tends to speak with reason. Is it a lie? Or the truth? This is the turning point. This will change the fate of this case. And I said I would believe in Kaito. And that means believing in Maki. And that means I have to do it. I need us all on the same page. I have to change where this argument is going, just like Kaede did. We've got to tell our own lie, right, Shuichi? Trial number 2, go into his account and take me and greet Maki alone. Alibis for yesterday.
I met with Ryoma the previous night.
It's going to be Maki alone, right?
What a load of crap!
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
And this is the music
Yes,
track.
I didn't meet with anyone else.
Did anyone see those two together?
Surely they would have come forward already.
If no one can prove that this meeting took place, then there is no reason to believe your testimony, I'm afraid.
As expected, Maki is lying to us. If you can't prove your claim, then it's the same as an outright lie!
Okay, so which one are we going for here? I can't say the two of them met now. That's too obvious a lie. So if I can convince them that Maki met up with someone...
I met with Ryoma the previous night.
What a load of crap!
Sorry, I need to replay this again.
Maki only see Ryoma at night?
Yes, I didn't meet with anyone else.
Well, let's keep
Did
following
anyone
up.
see those two together?
Surely they would have come forward already.
That's why we can't lie
If
about
no one
them.
can prove that this meeting took place, then there is no reason to believe your
I
testimony.
missed it
I'm
anyway because I
afraid.
didn't even choose the
As
lie.
expected, Maki is lying to us.
It's got to be Kia's one because we can't lie for agreements.
I met with Ryoma the previous night.
So there we go. Problem solved.
Maki only see Ryoma at night? Yes, I didn't
Shuichi, the ultimate detective, coming up
If
with
no one can
lies.
prove that this place.
I'll reveal the truth.
With a lie. I like how dirty you feel when you lie.
I might not be able to prove they met, but I can prove Maki wasn't alone.
Yes. Somehow.
Oh, please explain.
Here we go.
Well, Kaito and I trained together every night. And yesterday, because of the insect meet and greet, we started late.
Mistake number one, Shuichi, you never drank someone else into your lie, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, see?
Ah, Kaito, don't worry. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, don't worry, just keep your big mouth shut, please.
Anyway, we were doing some frog squats on the school stairs.
Rule number 2. Too much detail in your lie, Shuichi. Talking about frog squats, all you had to do was say we were doing some exercise.
When we heard 2 people talking.
People talking?
Man, just lying. Makes me nervous.
We knew one of them was Maki, but we couldn't pick out the other one. But now that I think about it, it must have been Ryoma.
It's funny because Ryoma has a very distinct voice, like it's really dark and deep.
What?
Yeah, maybe. That was probably around midnight.
Thanks, Kaito. Even Maki's just staring at us going, what are you fuckers doing?
Wait a minute! If you heard their voices, then that means...
She was talking to someone, and if it's 2 different voices, she wasn't talking to herself.
So Ryoma and Maki did meet up.
Possibly. I mean, those are your words, Gunta.
No,
I just gave a suggestion.
Up. Why'd you sit on that info for so long?
Because until just now, I didn't think it was relevant. I had no reason to bring it up.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if Maki was really talking to Ryoma, right?
Well, were any of you talking to Maki, perchance?
That is true. If I knew for certain, I would have said so sooner. But considering the circumstances, I can't imagine it being anyone but Ryoma. None of us were talking to Maki last night, correct? So it must have been him.
Exactly. Were you talking to Maki? No? Were you? No? No one was talking to Maki. Oh, except Ryoma, of course. But he's dead and he can't confirm, so yeah. Thanks, guys.
And nobody say you suddenly remember talking to Maki. It's way too late for that.
It's been too late for a lot of things brought up here, but nonetheless, we've let it fly, Kaito.
And you two did not confirm who Maki was talking to at the time?
No.
If I overheard a conversation in the middle of the night, I surely would have checked.
Really? Well, that's just very nosy of you, isn't it?
We are still part of a killing game after all.
Okay. So, I suppose Kurumi's argument is that we should be suspicious of everyone and should know everyone's activities, which, you know, she's got a point.
Whoa, chill out. Why the scary face?
Kaito, don't break down now, please.
That was my bad, but it's not really manly to eavesdrop, you know?
But it is manly to wear some lingerie out in the courtyard if it gives you an alibi.
I wouldn't do something so uncool.
Anyway, I know that we heard those voices. Maki is not lying.
Then Gonta will believe friends.
Thank you.
You're gonna believe him? Just like that?
Gonta believes everything, so as long as we can get Gonta on our side, that's a pretty easy sort of way to get him involved and give us a boost in numbers.
But Shuichi has no reason to lie.
Yes. If his lie leads us to the wrong culprit, he will join us in eternal sleep.
I feel like you said this last time as well.
Unless he wishes for death, we should be able to believe him.
Now, funny you say that, considering what we know about Shuichi when he's plugged in, right?
That's right. You can believe me.
Yeah, you're right. I'll believe him too.
I'm a detective.
Belief shall set you free.
I'd be so surprised if Shuichi was a liar. Especially after we believed him for so long.
I feel like Kokichi just sees through me every time.
We wouldn't be able to trust anyone anymore. Well, it's not like he's lying anyway.
See, I was about to say, maybe he does believe us, but then he's giving us that cheeky smile, right?
All right, that proves it then. Ryoma was still alive during nighttime.
I wouldn't say this kind of proves it, but yeah.
In other
It's
words,
as good as we got.
me and Maki aren't suspects anymore.
Kaito's just itching to say that he's not a suspect. That's probably why he went along
I guess
with me.
that means everyone's alibis no longer matter, yes?
Yes, indeed.
So, everyone is culprit again?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're right back where we started. What a pain.
What a pain. You can't go home just yet, Himiko.
However, it should be clear now that the crime occurred after nighttime began.
Yes.
But then when was Ryoma's body placed inside the piranha tank?
Just like I said before, when the game told me I was wrong, it happened during nighttime. Which is why they couldn't clean up after themselves in the pool.
Well, the gym is locked at nighttime, so it must have been the next morning. But
there's the window. They can climb up, get things done.
That's not possible. Himiko and I were at the gym, remember?
Right, as soon as the morning hit, these guys were like bouncing inside.
So did we fuck up by thinking the body got stuffed into the piranha tank?
No.
I don't think so. We have evidence to prove that's what happened.
Then when did the culprit throw the body into the piranha tank?
During nighttime. With that zip line. When did Ryoma's body get placed in the piranha tank? Maki was with Ryoma around midnight, so it couldn't have been before nighttime. And if it couldn't have been the morning after, that leaves...
The only time they could have done it was during nighttime, huh?
Exactly.
Did you forget the gym's not open at nighttime, dick cheese?
Dick cheese.
Dick cheese?
But that's the only possibility, because by morning we were already at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
it may be possible they slipped by without you noticing.
No one can slip by me. I'm known far and wide as the snoozing sorceress.
That's a good title, I guess.
What a terrible title for a guard.
Are you positive that you did not see it? You cannot enter the gym at nighttime.
Himiko would have seen it. She might strike out, but she always keeps her eye on the ball.
You can enter the gym if you're dead because you're not a student anymore, right? All you have to do is slide Ryoma down this zip line and he just flies into the tank.
I don't even play baseball.
But we can't disobey school rules, right? The body was probably moved in the morning.
Calm down, everyone! Don't assure if we discuss disagreement.
I see through your arguments. Disagreement? What? A disagreement? You mean you're split down the middle again?
I was about to say, since when does Monokuma interrupt? But this is it.
Then the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial ground!
I have to say, this is one of my favorite new mechanics. This is so fun.
Yippee! We've been waiting for this!
Me too, to be honest. Me too.
Jeez. We gotta do that whole crazy thing again?
Yep. It seems like our opinions are split on this matter. But if we focus on the evidence, the facts will become clear. All I have to do is show them and make them accept it. If I can't get them to see the truth now, my lie would have been for nothing. I won't fail. Okay, here we go. Split opinion. It's to do with when the body appeared in the gym, I guess. Here we go. And this music is so hype. Get ready to debate. When was the body put in the piranha tank? The next morning versus during nighttime. It was nighttime.
Did the culprit move the body just before the morning announcement?
I'm gonna let the whole thing play and then we'll
Is
start
it not
making
possible
the keywords,
you
right?
simply missed the culprit?
Missed.
Remember, the rules state that you can't enter the gym at night.
Rules.
The piranha tank is too far from the gym's entrance.
Tank.
But pool next to gym also off limits at night.
Off limits.
But should we trust Maki's testimony in the first place?
Testimony. Okay. Tsumugi is the only one talking about the announcement. We should focus on the simplest statements first, then argue accordingly. I like how
Did the culprit move the body just before the morning announcement?
the pictures came
Angie!
along with us for the
I
ride.
was in front of the gym with the others, before the announcement.
Angie couldn't have seen anyone into
Is
the
it
gym.
not possible you simply missed the culprit?
No way. There's two of
We
them.
were right in front of the door. There's no way we could have missed them.
Here we go.
Remember, the rules state that you can't enter the gym at night.
Kaito!
Yeah, but
Rules
bodies can.
probably don't apply to corpses, you know.
Exactly. Thank you, Kaito.
The piranha tank is too far from the gym's entrance.
It's by the window.
I got this! You might be able to reach the tank
Yes.
from the window above the stage.
But pool next to gym also off limits at night.
Just the pool is not the actual area
Entering the
itself.
pool at night's what's off limits, not the pool area itself.
But should we trust Maki's testimony in the first place?
Of course you can. I lied about it.
It's okay, because we have Shuichi's testimony too.
Got them all. Crouch, bind, sit. Push them off this trial ground. Not to their deaths, though. That'll be pretty horrible.
This is our answer.
Okay. Whew. I gotta say, Scrums just hyped me up.
It's true that you cannot enter the gym at nighttime, but a corpse could.
Which, well, obviously these guys aren't aware, but this has been a rule in other sort of games as well, like Trigger Happy Havoc, right? You can borrow a student handbook of a dead student, right? Because they don't count as students anymore, and stuff like that.
I am positive that the window was how the culprit moved the body.
Exactly.
That window's higher than the piranha tank, and it's pretty close by.
Yep.
The curtains might have been closed, but the window was open the whole investigation.
Not that it matters, it was open during the investigation.
That means it was certainly possible to put the body in the piranha tank from the window.
What matters was the window open during nighttime, but I can see what Kaito's trying to say there.
However, I'm also positive the pane dividing the piranha tank was set up beforehand.
That certainly couldn't be tossed in. It would need to be placed carefully.
Which leans towards my suspicions.
Even if the culprit were to throw the body from outside the window, the window is far too high. It cannot be reached from the floor.
Ryoma was small. Gonta could have chucked him easy.
Gota, are you suspicious now? Like I said, this is just...
Yes, but Gonta wouldn't do that. Gentlemen not chuck dead bodies.
Yes, good, good. Gentlemen never chuck dead bodies. But like I said, this plan is too convoluted for Mr. Gonta here to sort of set up, right? Let's be honest.
Being a gentleman has nothing to do with it.
I know! They used the ladder in the gym! You tested it out while you were investigating, Shuichi. That ladder reached the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the culprit just needed to put the body through the window to pull it off, right?
No, I don't think that method is possible, because the ladder couldn't have been used like that in this crime. I can prove it. The ladder can't be moved, because it's in the gym. Gotta leave it there. Uh-oh. I don't think the ladder can be moved. Huh? The ladder was easy to move. We used it on the stage, remember?
I was wrong!
Everyone's staring at me. I screwed up. They think I'm a fraud. I was gonna say, like, you can't take the ladder, because they couldn't have put the ladder back into the gym unless they threw it through the window, but it's too heavy, right? Okay, never mind then. There was no time to move it. The ladder doesn't reach the window. No time to move it. Ugh. I don't think there was enough time to remove the ladder. Couldn't they have carried out the ladder at any point during nighttime? I think the culprit had enough time.
Damn it!
Everyone's staring at me. Screwed up. They think I'm a fraud. The ladder doesn't reach the window. Okay, apparently. Even though we just saw in that graphic that it can.
The only reason the ladder reached the window was because it was on the stage.
Right, of course. We had to put it up on top of the fish tank. And if you put it from the ground, it wouldn't reach. Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
If you use the ladder on the pool side, it would not quite make it.
Sorry. Forgive me, I am a fraud.
The ladder could barely reach the window when it was on the stage.
So yeah, they couldn't have used the ladder.
And there is nothing on the pool side of the gym as tall as the stage.
Not to mention there's that little bit of garden area there, right? And I suppose if you climb the ladder, you could jump up, but then if you're holding a body, I guess that's going to be kind of hard, isn't it? But then maybe that rope that we found?
Finally, the ladder was found in the gym, correct?
Could it be the rope? Was that used for something?
If the culprit used the ladder on the pool side, we wouldn't have found it in the gym.
That's why I said it couldn't have been moved, Shuichi, but yeah, anyway. I understand what the game was trying to say.
And they couldn't have thrown the ladder back through the window because it's too heavy.
Mm-hmm. And it would have been found like on top of the tank or something, right? Not
Then
placed
Gonta
against
used
the
his
wall.
tard strength to throw the ladder or the body or something.
Tard strength?
Gentlemen not throw dead bodies. Or ladders.
Yeah, gentleman could hurt someone if he does that.
The body could not have been thrown into the piranha tank to begin with. It would need to be placed carefully to prevent the glass pane from shifting.
See, now Kyo has got a point here. You need to place the body carefully. So if he was on the zip line, he would have just flown into the tank, probably would have smashed the glass, and then the piranhas would have eaten him. So, but maybe that inner tube is involved somehow? Maybe, like, caught him, like a cushion or something?
Got it, Musclehead? Even if we injected tons of steroids into you, it'd be impossible.
It's a good thing for you, Gonta.
Sorry, you're right.
Why are you apologizing?
You didn't need to apologize, Gonta.
Poor guy.
How the culprit moved the body from the window. Ha! You guys don't even know that? What a bunch of dimwits.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to your scientific explanation, Kaito.
Do you have the answer then?
Yes, please enlighten us. We're just a bunch of dimwits.
But of course. Tell him, Shuichi. Blow him all away with the truth.
God! Why me? God, this is like Byakuya again in Trigger Happy Havoc. He's always like, you guys don't know the answer? Makoto, can you just explain it to them, please? like I have a feeling Byakuya knew the answer then, at least. And here, Kaito's got no clue whatsoever. He's just using me.
I actually don't know that yet.
Yeah, still working on it, buddy, but thanks for throwing me under this great, grand bus that you've been driving.
What?
The culprit definitely moved the body through the window, but I don't know how.
Seriously?
I feel like we're halfway there.
Serves you right! You just made a fool out of yourself after acting all high and mighty!
Yeah, dick cheese.
Dudes just need to shut up and take their licks.
What are we gonna do, Shuichi? We gotta figure this out or we're done for.
Don't drag me down with you. I'm trying to think.
Hey, you gotta do something, Shuichi!
Stop it, please. The pressure is mounting.
I know. I have to do something, but...
I don't know what to do. I haven't figured that out yet. Damn it. Am I really not good enough? No, Shuichi, we are. We just need to think. Am I no good as a detective? I can't do this. I can't.
I don't think it really matters how the body got into the piranha tank.
Really? What?
Gonta thinks it matter. We won't know culprit's trick unless we figure out...
We're getting sidetracked. It doesn't matter how it was done, just who did it.
I mean, you're right, but if we can figure out how it was done, that can point us to a couple of clues as to who did it, right?
We shouldn't focus on where we found the body. Instead, we need to focus on where he was killed.
Right. Which I'm suspecting is the Ultimate Tennis Pro's lab in the sink, because you can't enter the pool at nighttime, and now it's definitely nighttime now that Ryoma was killed, which means the pool is out of the question.
Where he was killed?
Where he was killed.
Wouldn't it be more efficient if we focused on the murder scene instead?
I suppose so. Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's it.
Ah, see? Told you Maki's pretty clever.
We were so caught up in where the body was found, when we should have been thinking about where the murder occurred.
Mm-hmm.
The murder scene would definitely have more clues about the culprit.
But if it was in the Ultimate Tennis Pro's lab, I don't really have much clues. Just the fact. I suppose this could lead into my argument about the metal wire for the net being used as the zip line, right?
Why didn't anyone realize this yet? That's strange.
Perhaps the culprit steered the conversation away from that topic.
Suppose so.
Then, culprit is someone in this room.
That's definitely true, Gonta. Thank you. That's important to remember. It's not as if everyone here wants us to find the truth. One of us is trying to sabotage this trial.
Well then, let's discuss the crime scene to figure out who the culprit is.
I wonder if I re-watch this whole thing, I'll be able to point out more clues that I wouldn't have known before, right?
That's not a bad idea for a robot. The last time I heard such a good idea was when Nino told me to move in with her under the bridge to get out of the cold.
Who's Nino, Himiko?
Himikawa under the bridge?
What? Sorry, not familiar. If we can determine where this all started, we can determine how it ended. Yes, it's much too soon to quit. The trial has only just begun. Certainly feels that way. But that's okay.
Thank you, Maki. That was a helpful insight.
I'm really enjoying this trial.
I can't believe you didn't notice that. I guess that's why you're still an apprentice.
Yep, I am. You didn't need to say that, though. Just let me do my job, okay? Okay, debate. File 2, crime tank with staircase, black piece of fabric, pool rules.
First, let's establish the crime
It's gonna be pool rules, because they're gonna think that we drowned him in the pool.
dorm room?
Well, not we, but the culprit.
Ryoma was relaxing in his room when he got attacked.
But the cause of death was drowning.
That's correct.
There is nothing in his room that could collect enough water.
I know something that
He's got
can.
a toilet, doesn't he?
Drown in toilet? Impossible.
Have you ever played Hitman,
We should
Gonta?
consider places where water is stored.
The only place that fits is the pool.
This is the one.
Even if you use magic, there's no other way.
Wow.
Well, it must be the pool then.
Oh,
Nah, that little turd drowned in the toilet.
God, my
Shut your mouth, you noisy sow.
Oh, jeez.
Sal?
I should agree with that, but I've got better things to do. The cause of death is a certainty. Ryoma drowned in water. The pool seems like the obvious answer, but I have my doubts.
First, let's establish the crime scene.
So, that's Himiko, right? Who said that it was in the pool?
The cause of death was drowning. There's nothing in his room that could collect enough water.
The toilet?
Drowning.
Toilet?
Impossible.
Impossible.
We should consider places where water is stored.
The only place that fits is the pool.
Gotcha.
That's wrong!
Not the pool, but I initially thought it was the pool way back when.
The pool could not have been the scene of the murder. Ryoma was killed at nighttime.
Sure was, which means he wouldn't have been murdered, he would have been exiled if he was found in the pool.
No swimming is allowed at nighttime, so a living person could not have gone in.
But his corpse could have been put in there.
Yep, a dead body is fine because it's just an object. But if a living person entered the pool,
And this leads into the argument that a dead person can enter the gym because it's just an object, according to Monotaro.
I think I might cry.
Uh-oh.
Cry as loud as you want. I'll cry with you. We can spend the night together crying.
Monofati's like those hopeless romantics.
In the morning after, I'll write goodbye on your mirror in lipstick before I quietly leave.
That's your brother, you know.
Only after you leave do I realize how much you really mean to me.
Quit being so gloomy! This is the year of the Jets! Fuck the Patriots!
There's your football reference.
Anyway, we can conclude it's impossible for him to have drowned in the pool.
Sure was.
Where was Ryoma killed if not pool? Is there other place where water can be stored?
Yep. Where was Ryoma killed? I know there's some kind of clue. The sink, which has got scratches all over it.
This is it!
Does that mean he was handcuffed
The sink
before
in
he
Ryoma's
drowned?
lab. There were distinct scratch marks on it.
Because those aren't nail marks, that's for sure.
Scratch marks on the sink?
Then how did he get the handcuffs on him, right? If there were no other injuries, supposedly.
And I believe those scratches were caused by...
The handcuffs. Oh, yep. Let's do it. Oh, back here.
This is it!
So he had the handcuffs on when he went drowned. I thought it was just used for the zipline, but...
they were scratched as well, correct?
I suppose that it would have made it harder for him to struggle if he was already cuffed.
Oh yeah, sort of looked like they'd been scraped against something.
And I guess there's scratches across all of the, like, including the wrist wraps itself, not just the middle there.
There's also the fact that the handcuffs were from Ryoma's lab.
On-site procurement, just like Metal Gear Solid.
The marks on the sink came from the handcuffs in the same room. The size and shape of the scratches are consistent with the handcuffs, I'm sure.
How did those handcuffs get from the lab to the water tank?
Because Ryoma was wearing them, right?
Yep. And I don't know if there's a key to take them off, but if he was still wearing them when he got, like, chucked into the gym, then the culprit had no way of getting them off him.
Yes, though they were only visible for a brief moment when Ryoma appeared in the tank.
They were inedible.
I am certain he was wearing the handcuffs at the time.
See, and he's got that black fabric, right? It's from his clothes that the piranhas just ate. Maybe that black fabric in the pool's his.
The handcuffs were left after the piranhas devoured Ryoma.
And see that fracture there on his skull. Is that, like, to do with the crime itself, or is that like a historical wound, right? Because, like I said, there was that small discrepancy with the Monokuma file saying there were no other injuries when we first read it. Then when we review our truth bullets, that statement's mysteriously gone. Is that like a sort of goof? Or is that important? See, it just says that only his bones remained after the piranhas ate him. Right? Then again, who wears
the culprit handcuffed Ryoma and drowned him in his lab sink.
My obvious thought is Kurumi, who's my suspect, because she wears black, like her apron, her gloves, her tights.
Ryoma must have been pretty yummy. They chomped up his entire body. Arms, legs, brain.
Like, I suppose Himiko also has black as well, but I don't think she's the culprit. I've already ruled her out. But that would be such a game thing to do, to just rope all the way back to her.
Saying disgusting things. I don't want to hear it.
And the way freaking Kokichi just talks about how he got devoured like that. Insane.
That crunchy texture with the fatty parts just right. Then when they bite down, it gushes.
Is Monofani gonna start throwing up again?
Stop! Please stop!
Jeez.
But how did culprit handcuff Ryoma? He could have used Shukuchi method to get away, unless someone ambushed him?
Someone would have had to ambush him, I guess. He is really short, so I was gonna say they could have snuck up behind him, but then because he's so short, their shadow probably would have, like, gone over him and he would have noticed straight away that someone was behind him.
It's possible they knocked him out before handcuffing him.
Okay, so we'll go with the knocked out thing then.
Though there's no way we can be sure, now that he's not but bones.
Ah, but that's the way we can be sure. There's a crack in his skull.
I doubt he was ambushed. I'm pretty sure the culprit got Ryoma by...
By?
Whoops. Don't pay attention to little old me. I'm just talking to myself.
What are you talking about, Kokichi? Just share it with the class.
When you talk to yourself, pretend you're eating and chew with your mouth closed.
Wow. Tsumugi's got some
Otherwise,
choice words.
you'll get a mouthful of peanut butter squid. It's so disgusting you'll laugh.
I don't know what that part means, though.
So we all agree Ryoma was drowned in the sink in his lab, right?
Well, we're all moving on anyways. Appears to be the case.
That sink could have held enough water to do it for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm calling it. The crime scene is Ryoma's fucking research lab.
We already called it. You're just calling it after us.
But how did the culprits carry his body to the gym from there?
They didn't need to. They just slid him down.
Isn't Ryoma's lab on the 3rd floor of the academy?
Like a flying fox.
It's actually not far at all.
And the windows are, like, right opposite each other.
Although, perhaps it's more accurate to say there's a shortcut.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about a secret passage.
Was there a shortcut?
What shortcut between Ryoma's lab and the gym did the culprit use? The window. I'm going to point the scratch marks to be specific.
There! The shortcut is the window in Ryoma's lab.
The window?
That's right. None of the windows in this school open.
Except for those two, surprisingly.
Except the one in Ryoma's lab.
Because they're internal windows, I guess. Not windows going outside, but even then, right? This whole area is domed off. Like, why are those windows, like, got barbed wire and whatnot, and these don't?
And on top of that, the window faced the pool. You could see the gym straight across.
And that window is lower, so yeah, you could make a zipline that just slopes down. Chuck Ryoma with his handcuffs. He just slides down the rope.
Do you think the culprit dropped Ryoma's body into the pool area from the lab window?
That was honestly my, like, initial thought, but doesn't appear to be the case, because how would they fish him out?
Then they could have thrown the body into the piranha tank through the gym window. How's that? Mission complete!
No, I think there was a bit more finesse involved.
Your explanation contradicts some things we discussed earlier.
Who's mine or Tenko's?
The gym window was too high to reach from the poolside, even if one used the ladder.
That's right! I apologize! I must go on a journey to reflect on this!
Okay. Tenko, you don't need to go on a spiritual journey or anything. Let's just stay in the trial grounds and we'll figure it out.
We keep hitting dead ends, since we don't know how the body was thrown into the gym.
Well, that didn't really give us any info about the crime.
No. Maki? Silent? Not necessarily. We learned a lot of important information. Now that I'm sure the scene of the crime was Ryoma's lab, the case is becoming clearer. To determine how the body got from the crime scene to where it was found, I have to figure out how to get from the third floor window to the gym. Alright then. I have to analyze the possible methods and find the most likely. Ooh, new minigame. Psych Taxi. Or is it Psyche Taxi? I'm going to say Psyche Taxi because they kind of rhyme. When you have to deduce how things are connected, Psyche Taxi will start up. So I saw this when I was loading up the skills. So this looks to be similar to the logic dive thing. Yeah, the body was brought from where? Okay, cool. Sweet. The objective of this mode is to gather the letter cubes lying around to form the question. Hold left click to accelerate, and use A and D to steer left and right. By picking up letter cubes floating around, you can complete the question. Once you've completed the question, you head toward the escort that has the correct answer. The escort? Oh look, there's even Kibo, and getting chucked into the water tank is a billboard. If it's the right answer, they'll get in your car. Wow, kinky. If it's the wrong answer, something bad happens. Okay. Also, there will be other cars on the road. If you hit those, you will take focus energy damage. If it's getting dangerous, use spacebar to concentrate. Stay calm and avoid them. Okay. Please drive safely. Enjoy the ride. Please respond at your earliest convenience. Psyche Taxi start. So yeah, this is just like the logic dive. Except we'll be picking escorts up. Whoa. Okay, so I need to collect these and this will fill up the question, I guess? Okay. Let's see how we do. It says you can use A and D, but I'm using my mouse to steer. So I guess that's a viable option as well. The body was brought from where? The body was brought from where? I'm guessing that's what it's going to say. Whoa! Steer! Okay, it's taking control off me. Thinking time! I thought I was going to drive off the road there. Okay. Lab window, lab door. Lab window. Jeez! Woohoo! So, Reserve Corps students are just surfers. Ultimate detectives pick up chicks. Next question. Okay, so where are we now? The Mojave Desert? I feel like we just drove through Vegas. The... something? I suppose I should just focus on picking up the cubes, right? Something gym? From... where? Ah. The body was brought to the gym from where? There's the magic show on the billboard. I feel like we can miss a couple if we need to, right? Because there were more after I collected them all. Oops. Oh, see, I already collected them all. The body was brought from to the gym from where? It's hard to concentrate on that and while driving, so maybe I'll just focus on picking up the cubes. Thinking time. There's no other cars on the road yet. Interesting. Gym door, gym window. Gym window. Cool. Join the ride. Okay, next question. At least I don't have to go into like spirals or anything in this one, I just literally drive. It's nighttime. That's Kibo getting thrown into the tank. Oh, there's the cars. As long as they just drive in a straight line, I'll be happy. I feel like I'm in Tron. How did it... something... Oops, I missed one. Damn it. I was too busy trying to read. Ah! Alright, see, so it'll be impossible to get them all. Let's get two. How was it moved from the... Oh, there's a Monokuma! I missed it! How was it moved from the classroom window to the gym window? It wasn't a classroom, it was his lab, but okay. Here we go. The moment of truth. From window to window. Yes. Here we go. The body was brought from where? The lab window. The body was brought to the gym from where? The gym window. How was it moved from the classroom window to the gym window? From window to window. That's it. We're honing in.
I've got it. Ryoma's body was moved directly from his lab to the gym.
Exactly.
Directly? Don't tell me they threw the body from window to window.
No, it's not a freaking shot football, okay? Can't just throw Ryoma everywhere.
I mean, we're talking about a body. It's not like tossing a baseball, you know.
I know that, even if he is tiny. I mean, how much does the guy weigh?
No, I don't believe he was thrown, but perhaps another way.
Like, let's quickly review that. Sorry to put an interruption on the trial. The guy's 88 pounds. He's 3'5".
What do you mean another way? There's no other way to move it.
There sure is. He almost tripped over it.
The culprit must have used some kind of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Equipment?
Yep.
With this equipment, they can connect the two windows and move the body to the gym.
Thank you, Maki. For an ultimate child caregiver, you seem to be very, like, knowledgeable about this sort of stuff. Equipment to connect the windows. I believe it was found near the body. I suppose kids could be, like, playing on flying foxes and whatnot, right? The rope. Oh, was this the rope that they used? I thought it was going to be the metal one from the lab. But I suppose this rope helps as well?
The rope found behind the gym stage could have been used to connect the windows.
Oh, actually, maybe it was just this rope, because the metal wire was only 50 feet, right? I can't remember the dimensions of the pool. Maybe that wasn't long enough. Maybe this rope was, because I think this one was 65? I think that's what Kyo said. So this rope's longer than the other one. Maybe this was the one that was used, and I just got misled by the other one. Maybe they tried to use that metal one. They saw, oh damn, it's too short. I'm gonna need to use another piece of rope that's longer, and then they used that rope there.
Oh, there was a mysterious mystery about that rope that only Atua can reveal.
Mysterious mystery about that rope. Because it wasn't part of your trick, was it?
What mysterious mystery? During last night's preparations for the show, that rope was in the wing of the stage. But the next morning, the rope had been moved backstage for some reason.
So that rope came from the gym? Well, that's interesting.
It's a mysterious mystery. Only Atua knows the answer.
So, during nighttime, someone used the rope, then threw it into the gym window?
So they did use the rope. That's how they bridged the distance between both windows.
Is the rope long enough to reach both windows?
I was wondering why Shuichi was talking about the dimensions of the pool and whatnot. Like, this is why. You don't just randomly talking about how wide the pool is and whatnot. The only thing is I can't remember how big the pool is.
The rope is roughly 65 feet in length.
65, yeah.
As for the distance between the windows,
According to the sign at the pool, the width of the pool is roughly 35 feet.
35?
And the distance from the edges of the pool to the windows is an additional 16 feet.
So it's 51 feet. You couldn't use that other metal wire because that was only 50 feet. Right? So they must have tried to use that and then they were like, actually, this is not long enough. Yeah. So we need to use the rope.
Altogether, the sum total length from one window to the other is roughly 50 feet.
Kibo, you're a robot. You should be able to calculate that that's 51. Even though you did say roughly, so I'll give you that. Okay,
and
fine.
Pool is only thing between research lab and gym windows.
Yes. Because even though it's exactly...
You bet it's long enough. That's what she said.
Even though it's 50 feet in length, you'd still need some additional bit of your cable or your rope to tie around the window, right? To make it stick and hold. So that's why it couldn't just be exactly 50 feet. Because that's just literally the measurement. You'd need some extra part of that rope to tie around the window frame.
Wait, who said that?
Even if the rope was long enough, wouldn't it be pretty hard to tie them to the windows?
Yeah.
Both windows were too high to reach. It would be like tying a rope from one cliff to another.
So the only problem I have is how do they tie the rope on the other side, on the gym window side? Like I could do the lab window easily, but how do you tie the rope on the other one? Unless you do like some sort of Indiana Jones lasso and you throw it over and it just happens to wrap itself neatly into a knot?
If the windows were closer together, then they could toss the rope across. But they're not.
Well, you could toss it from down on the ground, but like I said, it's not going to be secured onto the window frame.
No,
you have like a grappling
don't
hook or
think it
something.
would work. Just need one more rope.
One more rope.
Another rope. There was only one, though.
Oh, what if you combine the two ropes? In the middle. Is that where you're going with this, Gonta?
Then it impossible. Sorry.
Impossible. No, I'm sure there was another rope. Or at least something that could be used as rope. Yes, okay. So, I was kind of going off the wrong track there. They did use this cable.
This is it!
But they combined it with the other
tennis
rope.
net cable from Ryoma's lab could serve as a rope.
How long is it?
50 feet.
About 50 feet or so. But how do they use it?
Okay, so...
Okay, Gonta. This'll be cool, coming from him. He's a survivalist.
First, culprit hang rope outside of one window. Then, culprit move to other side.
Are you saying that they would have prepared this before nighttime? And if they prepared this before nighttime, there's only one person.
And tie cable to other window.
I can think of who would have done that. Okay, so yeah, so there's two separate ropes.
Then, after tying to each window, culprit tie rope and cable together.
And then they would have gone back to the research lab, pulled the rope backwards to sort of get it tense.
That how culprit make one rope that reach both windows.
There we go. There's my wonderful zip line.
Wow, that's amazing, Gonta! You're so knowledgeable.
That's gonna make up for my ugly ass drawing that I made of the funhouse in chapter 4 of Danganronpa 2.
It's nothing. Gonta use ropes a lot when looking for bugs.
Thanks, Gonta. That was really helpful.
Even if they did connect the windows with a rope, they can't carry a body on just that.
I know.
Eureka! I got it!
Oh, here we go. The ultimate inventor.
Thomas Edison once said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. But in my case, it's 100% inspiration!
I don't know, sometimes it's 100% perspiration coming from you, judging by the amount you sweat.
You get it. Just tell us already.
They handcuffed the body to the rope and slid it from one window to the other, like Tarzan!
Right, so it's kind of what I thought. I guess she's saying that they cuffed one of the wrist things to the rope and one to Ryoma. I suppose that could work too. But then how did they uncuff him and put it back on his other hand, right? Yeah, no, this wouldn't be the case.
The body would reach the gym window, but it wouldn't land in the piranha tank. Stop making such dumbass comments and keep your smelly breath in your dirty mouth.
Kokichi's really tearing into mute here. There comes the perspiration.
Tarzan? But they also had to put the body in the piranha tank after they moved it, huh?
Yeah.
That is not feasible with just one rope.
That's why there's 2 ropes.
Maybe the rope wasn't the only equipment the culprit used.
Unless you're talking about that one rope that links the 2 windows. Not just the rope. I mean, yeah, we've got that inner tube. I still don't know what that's for.
Well, anyway, it would have been pretty difficult to get that body in the piranha tank. They wouldn't just throw it. The trick was a super crucial part of the culprit's plan.
They would have needed to carefully place his body in the piranha tank, so maybe ziplining across would be a bit reckless. The culprit would have had to control it. Like I said, maybe the inner tube was used as like a buffer or a brake, so that maybe he slid across, he hits the inner tube, he slows down enough that he falls into the tank neatly, but then why was the inner tube out in the pool? I don't know, I just don't know what this inner tube's for.
The culprit must have carefully placed the body into the tank with their own hands. But is there really a way to do that?
Kokichi, are you hinting at something?
Yeah, are you, or are you just being a troll again?
Huh? Hint? What hint? Don't confuse me with your talk of hinting hints.
You're confusing me. You were definitely onto something. It's true that the culprit needed to place the body directly into the piranha tank. If the body were to fall, the culprit would not have been able to retrieve it. They would have had only one shot at it. No second chances. One opportunity. Did they take it? Because they definitely didn't let it slip. So obviously, the culprit would have wanted to put the body in the tank carefully. Meaning they would have wanted to get as close to the window as possible. The problem is, how did they get near it? All that we know right now is that there was a rope that connected the windows. Yeah. If you're carrying a body, you can't just zipline across with the body, because you'd probably drop it, and you want to make sure you're as safe as possible. Somehow, the culprit used that to move the body and were close to the window themselves. To make that work, they had to have used something else. But what would that be? What could they have done?
All right, Shuichi. The stage is finally set.
I'm just gonna say the inner tube and hope you guys work it out, okay? Because I saw that thing, and I don't know how it was used.
What?
Listen up. Do a good job here, and I'll be able to put an end to this trial.
I'm usually the one who gives the closing argument here, Kaito. You will probably be doing absolutely nothing, and I'd prefer that, because then you won't be, like, sabotaging my attempts to find the culprit.
It all starts with you. You be the opening act, and I'll be the main event.
I've been the opening act for the past however many hours.
And then together, we're gonna save everyone.
2.5.
Together?
You got this. After all, you are my sidekick.
Okay.
I believe in you, so I'm gonna leave the rest to you.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can do this. I will solve this mystery and show everyone the truth. This is the main event. Something that was used with the rope to move the body between the windows. Think. Come on, think. Hangman's Gambit. Okay, what do we got? Okay. I don't see a Z anywhere. Oops. There's a lot of R... I guess... rope? Rope. Okay, it looks to be. Rope what? Roperinos? A W? I suppose it's worth a shot. Rope. Rope what? Rope wax? Ropeway? Ropeway? What's a ropeway? I'll be honest, I've got no idea what a ropeway is.
Yes, that's it. The culprit used something like a ropeway to move the body.
Is that like a flying fox or a zip line? Or is it something else? Ropeway.
A ropeway, huh? Are you sure about that?
Well, these guys know what a ropeway is, so I'm hoping they can enlighten me here.
Wow, you got drain damage or something? You'd need some kind of vessel to use on a ropeway, and we don't have that!
A vessel. The inner tube. No, there definitely was. The culprit used it to move the body along the rope. In scenes where you have to deduce an image, mind mine will begin. I thought it was called imagination excavation or something, because that's what the skill was for. In any case, I think this is the last minigame, isn't it? In this mode, the objective is to dig up the answer. At the beginning, the answer will be completely covered by pieces. Use the mouse to move the cursor and left-click to erase the pieces. Pieces will be erased when two or more of the same color connect. Right, this is similar to a game I've played before. I can't remember what it was called now though. But if the colors are all bunched together, you get to destroy a whole bunch of them. The adjacent pieces will then change color in the following order. White, pink, yellow, white. Okay. If you do it right, you can remove all pieces from an object. The trick is to predict how the adjacent pieces will change. When all the pieces on top of an object are gone, you can select the object as the answer. So I guess there's images hiding behind these, and I select which one I think it is. If you select the wrong object, your influence gauge will take damage. If there's just one piece left, you can repeatedly left-click on it to break it, but that will incur a time penalty, so don't just go clicking like crazy. Okay. So take a piece, confirm image, once I've got the image, okay. So we want to obviously try and get rid of them in groups, but if we absolutely have to, we can destroy them if they're just by themselves. It might sound complicated, but trust me, you'll get it as you play. Yeah, I think I got this. Thank you for your understanding. Mind mine. Okay, so let's start with this one. And I need to think about the colors, but honestly, that's a bit much for me to think about right now. I'm just going to start digging. So that seems to be like the recliner. Need to uncover... Oh, there it is, right there. Uh-oh. That was terrible. Okay. So, I'm gonna need to just get rid of these. A lot of time penalty. But they use this. I suppose the other one was a ladder. Okay. Complete!
It's the inner tube! The rubber inner tube we found floating in the pool!
Yes.
The inner tube?
Yep, now you guys have to work out why it was used.
Remember the inner tube we found in the pool with a rope on one side?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the rope was originally tied on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
The culprit made a ropeway by hanging the tube from the rope connecting the windows.
So this is what a ropeway is. Yeah, it's just like a flying fox. And the inner tube, right, that would allow multiple people to transport across. Ryoma, who's dead, and the culprit.
And because the third floor window is higher up, gravity would have pushed the inner tube along.
I'd have said pulled, but okay. Gravity would have pulled them.
The inner tube is made of sturdy rubber as well. It could have supported two people.
So it wasn't the handcuffs. It was this. Okay. That would have allowed the culprit to get across. Like this.
The culprit used the ropes and the inner tube to construct a rudimentary ropeway.
Our favorite gray person.
And used it to move themselves and Ryoma's body from the lab to the gym.
Uh-huh.
Once through the gym window, the culprit stood on the inner tube to move the body.
Right, and this would allow them to place the body into the prawn tank. Okay, gotcha.
Either that, or the culprit placed their foot on the windowsill.
So close. Because that's technically not entering the gym, right? They're just at the window.
That way would be more stable, and let them handle the corpse more carefully.
Just look at the way they're just holding the body. Obviously, this is just Shuichi's imagination here, but jeez.
Finally, they removed the rope from the window frame and left the scene.
But then Ichi fell into the pool by accident, and they couldn't pick it back up.
Well, when you put it like that, it certainly sounds possible.
Yep.
But wow, a ropeway!
A ropeway, or a zip line.
You say the culprit placed their foot on the windowsill. Isn't that against school rules?
I don't know. I don't think so. You'd have to be in the gym itself. Like, probably touching the floor.
It would count as entering the gym, would it not?
Last time we got asked that question, we decided it was okay.
Ah, see? So it's fine if you stand on the windowsill.
Sticking your body through the window is an automatic out, but standing on the sill is...
It's very specific rules.
Wait, who asked you last time?
Yeah. Actually.
Eh?
Who asked you this question?
It is quite possible that the culprit went to you to confirm the details of their plan.
Which reminds me of a certain insane person who had to ask Monokuma the actual power usage of a certain old building near a hotel. These culprits, man, going straight to the rule makers of the game to make sure that their plans are going to be successful.
Oh, shit!
Monosuke.
Way to put your foot in your mouth.
Uh-oh.
His foot! Monosuke just unhinged his jaw and swallowed his entire leg!
The culprit's not going to be happy with you.
Cut it out! I can't write this off as a joke if you two keep freaking out about it.
He was trying to play it off, but it's too late now.
Then your little slip-up is actually the truth!
Uh-huh. Uh-oh. You've upset your father.
Pops?
Shit.
Uh-oh. Daddy's mad at you now.
Good one.
Huh?
Don't look at me. This is what you get for acting like a big shot all the time.
Stop. Do not bully Monosuke.
Yeah. Stop bullying the guy.
Huh?
He really could have saved this, but now you guys have made it unsavable.
No more blaming each other. Everybody makes mistakes. I want us all to get along.
Monodam really wants them all to get along for some reason, even though, well, I suppose killing Monokid was his way. And if Monosuke keeps his behavior of antagonizing his fellow cubs, he's next on the chopping block for sure.
Monodam's right.
Monosuke, you better thank Monodam. Less attitude and more gratitude. Got it?
I think he's just afraid to open his mouth now.
The trial was just getting fun. Why you gotta ruin it with that slip-up? But I guess now we know Shuichi's logic is right on the money.
Yep, it sure is.
So culprit really used ropeway to move body?
And I'm thinking now, if they had to set up that rope from the gym, it can only be one person, really, who set this up.
Yeah, they used the ropeway to move with the body from window to window.
And now that I think about it, someone's definitely been sort of countering everything we say, right?
That's some crazy-ass shit! But if the mechanism was that complicated, wouldn't it be hard to put it all away?
Mm-hmm. It was too hard to put it all away.
Not necessarily.
Well, okay. I guess the rope and everything was fine, but... yeah.
All one must do is detach the rope from the window after using the ropeway.
But then it would have, like, fallen down, bounced on the ground, and probably fell into the pool.
Then, after returning to Ryoma's lab, one could retrieve the rope from that side.
Mm-hmm. And this all would have taken place while we were all asleep, I guess. Because this is after midnight now.
Tossing the rope into the gym from the pool window would be the final step.
Exactly.
I see! The rope was thrown from the window! That's why we found it there!
Mm-hmm.
With that method, the culprit must have made numerous trips from Ryoma's lab to the pool.
Which is why the crime was committed during nighttime, while we all slumbered.
Yep, you had plenty of time to get all this done while everyone was snoozing.
But if the culprit was so careful to recover the rope they used to commit the crime...
Why didn't they recover not the ropeway, the inner tube, you ask?
Why did they leave the inner tube in the pool?
Because they made a mistake.
I believe that was an accident.
An accident?
Yeah. They wouldn't have left it there deliberately.
When the culprit was taking down the inner tube, they accidentally dropped it.
Because this is like a vital clue.
Then why did the culprit leave it in the pool?
The reason the culprit left it in the pool is obvious. It was nighttime.
That's it!
Full health again, that's good.
Even if they wanted to get it, they couldn't, because this took place at nighttime.
I see. They couldn't get the inner tube because swimming is prohibited at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
But couldn't they have used the rope to fish it out?
No, it was too low. The water level was too low. They couldn't reach it.
Not necessarily. You see, the water level in that pool is so low. Even if one tried to draw in the inner tube using the rope, the steep angle the rope would be at would make it nigh impossible.
They would have needed to get like a harpoon or something, right? To like lean down, stab it, and try and pull it up. But it was a pretty big tube. But then would have deflated it, right? So that would have made it easier to pull up.
It'd be different if they used a pole, but there's no way a rope would work.
Well, they could have used the pole from the AV room, right? The projector screen. They could have used that to fish the thing out. But then if we found that the screen was wet, we'd have been like, what the heck? But then again, we didn't even investigate the AV room, right? So, who knows?
Even if inner tube was closer to pool edge, water's still too low to drag tube in.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a lot of work. I can see why they just left it there.
I don't think it was because they were lazy. I think it's because they actually couldn't.
Yeah, it would take too long. And they would have been busted if someone saw them.
And yeah, I suppose if you just committed a crime, your heart's pounding, you don't want to stick around too long. It's too risky that someone will spot you, right? So you would have been in a slight hurry to try and get out of there.
Ha! What kind of clumsy dipshit drops an inner tube and can't retrieve it?
I hope this antagonized the culprit.
Let me tell you, this culprit's a real fucking amateur.
No, actually. Save for that one mistake. This was the perfect crime.
Damn it, Shuichi, now's not the time to be praising the culprit, okay?
If Maki had never met up with Ryoma at nighttime, it might have been the end for us.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I still don't know if Maki is telling the truth or not.
He's onto something.
Shut up.
Personally, I find this culprit frighteningly thorough.
Guys, now's not the time to be respecting the culprit.
Such a bold, beautiful plan. I never even imagined there was a ropeway. Oh, respect begins to bloom in my heart for this wonderfully cruel culprit.
Kyo, might want to turn it down a bit, okay?
What are you, stupid? Don't respect the culprit.
Thank you, Kaito. No. Respecting the culprit's intelligence is crucial in solving this case. We're so close. We're just one step away from the truth. And if it's Kurumi, who I've been thinking this entire time, she's clever enough to do this, right?
Now, we just need to figure out who the culprit is.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it would be pointless to unravel this mystery otherwise.
Everything's pointing towards her.
So, who is it?
Looks like it's time for me to start the main event.
Oh, well, that's fine. Kaito's got to take over for us, guys. Let's just sit back. Whew, take a breather.
But my sidekick here is on a roll right now,
God's
so I'll
sake.
let him take this one.
I'm the opening act and the main event?
Okay.
Sure.
You're just pushing everything onto Shuichi because you don't know yourself.
Maki, speaking the truth here.
Well, Shuichi, do you already know who the culprit is?
I'm getting more and more confident about my decision now, yes. Yes, I have a good idea of who the culprit is. And so does Shuichi, it seems.
Hey, Shuichi, are you hesitating again?
What?
Come on, man, there's no need for that. Like I said, you're my sidekick.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I take responsibility for any mistakes my sidekick makes.
Well, in that case, you know what, I guess that's a perk of being a sidekick. I don't have to take any blame.
So use those skills of yours I believe in to shove the truth down their throats.
See, that's a good thing about Kaito, you know, he's trying to encourage us, saying if you make a mistake, don't worry, I'll take the blame because you're just my sidekick. So I guess that's the good thing of being his apprentice.
You believe in my detective skills?
That's right! I'm gonna leave it all to you, Shuichi!
Okay. Yeah, I need to believe in my detective work. This whole setup would have had to have been prepared in the gym well beforehand. Knowing that narrows the list of suspects. It sure does. In fact, she's right here. Hello.
It has to be you.
You're the only one.
There's one more thing I still have to confirm. But Kirumi is the prime suspect.
There we go. It's out there. Kirumi is the prime suspect.